Richfield, Utah is a great little town with a really nice view. As I'm sitting in traffic in Boulder, Colorado, I am thinking again about food and information. When discussing food intake and nutrition, today, for me, in America, it's a very different conversation than anybody else in history would be having. Everywhere from 20,000 years ago, 100 years ago, food scarcity was the bigger problem. Sustainability is a choice an individual must make at some point. Morality is a choice that you can make sometimes. The culture and the environment that I find myself in is that I'm surrounded by food all the time, and it's incredibly available and incredibly cheap and incredibly tasty. And there are so many options out there and so much information. I find myself trying to square that circle and understand that I am probably a being that has formed over time to be successful in an environment with significantly less information than I do now. If I were growing up in any other time period, in any other place, I would have things that I observe and my local community to rely on for information. I wouldn't have the internet. I wouldn't have a centralized education system. I get a lot of information overload. Well, I need to gather information from those around me. That's the base desire. But now those around me is everybody. And I pick up information from everywhere all the time, and it's too much. And it's a great privilege because I can come to informed decisions about many, many things. It takes a lot of time to do that. And I think that certain people recognize that. They understand that the information is abundant. So therefore, condensing and selling it back to you is now a business. So if I can sell you a diet plan, if I can sell you a complete protein, a computer that's already made so you don't have to make decisions, if I can sell you a solution, you'll have more time making the decision about what things to know every detail about and what things to not is a sustainability choice that everyone must make in several facets of life. But bad actors, greedy people, muddy those waters a lot. So what is the point? Well, historically, the guiding light we use to orient ourselves in an environment of limited information is culture. We rely on the accumulation of knowledge by those around us to know what we should do and not do. Just because in the last 100 years, all of these physical aspects of the environment has changed, there's roads and skyscrapers and computers and everything, smokescreen, nothing's really changed. We're still relying on culture as a guiding light. It's the responsibility of the individual to shape and be shaped by their culture. So in this era of information overload, how do I make decisions about my life that keep my life positive and meaningful? What does it mean to be shaped by culture? I think that so much of it is vibes. I'll give a really good example, like DoorDash, ultimate food commodity. But what do you sacrifice for that convenience? A lot more expensive, it's a lot more energy intensive. Ultimately, I stopped using services like DoorDash, but the reason was not because it's more expensive, it's less healthy, it's a cultural thing. I can look at the system of DoorDash, the company of DoorDash, what it incentivizes, what it encourages, how it forces people to work long hours for little pay, how it uses so much extra waste, how it uses so much extra energy. I looked at that system and it gives me the ick. And I know other people for whom it disturbs. That's culture in action. That is us being shaped by our culture, that vague sense of, that's me being shaped by my culture in a way that is positive and keeps my life meaningful.
And this is Pando. Pando are a colony of quaking aspen trees that all share a root system. Each of these trees are genetically identical, and it makes Pando the largest living organism by mass. Over 100 acres of interconnected trees. And I love them, and they're my friend.